Good evening and welcome to the Channel Studios here in London with your international news around the world in 5. Myanmar's police have charged deposed leader Aung San Suu Kyi with breaching the country's import and export laws. Ms Suu Kyi has been remanded in custody until February the 15th. Her whereabouts is still unclear, but it has been reported that she is being held at her residence in the capital Nay Pyi Daw. The coup led by Armed Forces Chief has seen the formation of an 11-member junta, which is ruling under a year-long state of emergency. Russian police have detained more than 1,400 people at protests in support of opposition leader Alexei Navalny. The Kremlin critic has been jailed for 3.5 years for violating the conditions of a suspended sentence. Mr. Navalny was detained 2 weeks ago upon his return to Moscow from Berlin, where he spent several months recovering from poisoning with the nerve agent Novichok. The court has ruled that while he was in Germany, he violated probation terms from a 2014 case. Mario Draghi, the former European Central Bank chief, has accepted the mandate to form a new government and lead Italy through the coronavirus pandemic.
Che rispondo positivamente all'appello del Presidente della Repubblica.
President Sergio Mattarella has asked Mr. Draghi to put together a high-profile administration that hopefully will win the backing of a broad sweep of parties in the fractured parliament. The move comes after talks aimed at salvaging Prime Minister Giuseppe Conte's coalition collapsed. Prosecutors say Jibril Massaquoi from Sierra Leone, who was part of the rebel group that fought in Liberia from 1999 to 2003, is responsible for killing civilians and soldiers who had just been disarmed and rape and recruiting of child soldiers. Prosecutors have demanded a life sentence, which in Finland tends to mean 14 years imprisonment. SpaceX Starship prototype rocket has exploded on landing after an experimental launch from Boca Chica in Texas. The uncrewed vehicle, codenamed SN9, climbed successfully to 6 miles above the Texas Gulf Coast, but once again failed to pull off the landing as the flight ended in an explosive impact with the ground.
Preparing to restart 2 engines, flip the vehicle vertical, then transition to 1 engine for the landing burn.
The 50-meter tall Starship is a concept for future space transportation, as the company has said that once fully developed, the vehicle will be capable of taking people to the moon and to Mars. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has led a national clap for Captain Sir Tom Moore and health workers. The House of Commons also held a 1-minute silence in memory of Captain Sir Tom Moore and those who have lost their lives as a result of the pandemic. Tom Moore, who raised almost £33 million for NHS charities by walking laps of his garden last spring, died in hospital aged 100 on Tuesday after contracting the coronavirus.
Captain Sir Tom Moore was a hero in the truest sense of the word. In the dark days of the Second World War, he fought for freedom, and in the face of this country's deepest post-war crisis, he united us all.
And finally, a famous weather-predicting animal has forecast another 6 weeks of winter on Groundhog Day 2021.
Okay. Oh, you look beautiful today. All right.
The marmot, named Phil, has seen his shadow, and as legend holds, that means 6 additional weeks of heavy coats and cold weather.
6 more weeks of winter there will be!
The tradition, which takes place in a small town in western Pennsylvania at dawn on the same day every year, has been happening since 1887. And that's your international news around the world in 5. Now back to Channel Studios in Lagos.